This is the Eclectic Discussion Podcast.
It's nice to see everybody here. Who would like to begin?
Well, I would just like to say that I stopped hanging around with Toucan Sam, and I haven't touched a Cocoa Puff since May 3rd.
3 weeks sober. Congratulations. How does that feel?
There's a ringing in my ears, and it feels like my body is eating itself from the inside. Be strong, Sonny. I know what it's like to be a slave to cravings.
Silly rabbit.
What did you say?
All right.
Say it to my face.
Rabbit, have you sat the kids down and opened the lines of communication toward a mutually beneficial negotiation?
All they understand is red number 7 and yellow number 5.
Then it sounds like you have to look out for number 1.
I don't see why you don't just pinch it from the little bastards. Yeah, keep it up, you scumbag. That's the kind of attitude that encourages kids to steal from me.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the EDP, Eclectic Discussion Podcast. I'm Eclectic. Listen, it's a lot different now. Like, growing up, go down the cereal aisle. You're picking your cereal based on one of two things. The toy, and I think I did an episode about the greatest toys, cereal boxes. They don't even have toys in the cereal box anymore, but it was either the toy or the box, whatever the character was. And the cereal mascots were huge back in, when I was growing up. But what was our cereal mascots telling us? Like, what was going on back in the day? I look it back, I have some questionable things about the characters that the companies chose to peddle their sugary breakfast snacks to us kids. All right, listen. Follow me. Just bear with me. The Trix Bunny. I'm thinking the Trix Rabbit is on LSD. Always hallucinating these fruit flavors in the air, and the fruits is bouncing all over the place, and he stays fiending for tricks. He'd do anything for a quick fix. He has no muscle though, so he's all hopped up on Lyser Guide. And little kids can snatch it from him and eat his cereal in front of him. He's a cuck. They're eating his cereal in front of him, and he won't do anything about it. He's a Trix cuck. So that guy's out. Tony the Tiger, I think all of these guys are on drugs. Tony the Tiger's on performance enhancers. He's on tiger growth hormone. He's on TGH. Clearly in roid rage. And he's peddling this to kids. Like, look, I know you suck at baseball, but take these. You hit home runs. Look, the rage. Hey, look. All I asked was tone or the flakes good. He wilding out. They're great. He starts breaking the table and chewing the bowls. Plus, who wants an enraged tiger around their kids? Like, why is that a thing? Get the tiger away from the kids. Captain Crunch. Horatio. Horatio is a dirty old man. First of all, Horatio Magellan. Look, that's his name, if you didn't know. It's Horatio Magellan Crunch. He's been on the boat and selling the seas all alone, docks, and then he hangs out with kids. Telling stories about his adventures and how lonely he's been. He spends his time cooking up tasty treats for children. Then, to make sure they keep coming back, he keeps coming up with new flavors. I don't know if he's ever exposed his crunch berries to these kids, and I do not want to know why the roof of those kids' mouths are so raw. Hashtag to crunch a predator. That guy's a problem. Horatio's a problem. Horatio's a dirty old man. Tony's on fucking roids, and the bunny's on LSD. Then you got Count Chocula. The Count was a creep. He was a stalker. See, the Count would just show up. He'd be hiding behind his cape, and he'd beg the kids to try cereal. not try and keep the kids from it. And he always played to the camera like, yeah, look what I'm up here doing. Like, he'd be winking and doing the eyebrow raise at the camera. You can't do that. It's like, he'd be in his castle with the binoculars waiting on kids to ask for breakfast. Then he just show up. What is he up to? No, I don't like the Choco creep. Get him out of there. Then the other monster, you have Frankenberry. Eventually, and we're in a progressive time now. This is not like the 70s and the 80s. Eventually, Frank will come out the closet. You know, maybe he can go live. He can do an Instagram or a podcast. I'll have him on. He can do an interview. I can't believe like TMZ doesn't have any incriminating pics of him and his exploits with some people. Like, being a monster is scary enough, but a giant monster dressed in all pink, smelling like strawberries, with a raging cereal spoon is frightening. And he got chains and shackles. Hey man, what was he up to? Bondage and hey man, Frankenberry. Then Boo Berry. I'm not saying Boo Berry is a KT. It's kid toucher. All I'm saying is that the voice and the hat and those eyes and the fact that he's a ghost, because technically you wouldn't feel it. Look, he can sneak in and out of rooms undetected. I'm just saying there's a reason that cereal was off the shelves for years. I think he was locked up. I think he's a registered milk offender. I think he was locked up. The blueberry was there, then it was gone. And they tried to bring in the Yummy Mommy, and then they brought in the Fruit Brute. It didn't work. Blueberry was somewhere on Rikers. Sonny the Cuckoo, clearly a coke addict. Look, Sonny plans everything around Cuckoo Puffs. He even admitted that he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he lost his job. He needs the Puffs to function. He doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any family. All he does is go around and break into houses for some of them Puffs. You got the mood swings, and he's restless. And from what I understand, a lack of sexual appetite. Burn needs help. He's on the cocaine. Super Bear. See, Sugar Bear had hoes. Because, they changed it. See, there's next to no way Super Sugar Bear wasn't a pimp. It was the original Ted. He was just smoother. He had the smooth walk and the smooth voice. I get what I'm saying, is Sugar Bear gonna have to choke a bear? Listen, his name was Sugar Bear. You've seen the Mac and Superfly, and I'm sure that he was starring in bear exploitation films all this time. They changed his name. It was Sugar Bear, and it was a problem. He probably filmed some porn, and they changed it to Super Bear, and he got all the sugar out. Book of sugar. I don't know. Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Now you pretty much know that they're stars. They had the loud. So much crispy kush in the they come from hippies. The names are Crackle, Pop, and Snap. Crackle is obviously the laziest. He's always wearing. He got the striped sleeping cap. He don't even take. He's just ready to be knocked out. He didn't even take the cap off. Pop is the eccentric and probably bi, with the military hat. What's the village people? He had the military hat. And then obviously, Snap is the one growing the crisp kush with the chef's hat. Mr. Wake and Bake. Plus, their gnomes. Greenery puffin' gnomes. Tell me, hippies, they're no good. And we get cereal with these Lucky the Leprechaun. You've seen Breaking Bad. You know meth heads when you see one. Lucky's on the green glass. paranoid. He thinks people are after him and his frosted Riz, the lucky crank. He even has meth mouth. There's no pot of gold. There's his lab, and he thinks the kids and the feds are trying to follow him and see where his cook is. He thinks that people are after his shit. There's no gold, there's no pot. They're after his Lucky Charms. His Lucky Charms is his fucking green glass. What else? I don't care about like some of these guys, like Wendell Baker from the. Also, you know what? I'm thinking Wendell was a fucking murderer because when Cinnamon Toast Crunch originally came out, it was 3 bakers, and then all of a sudden it was just Wendell. Why they bring up the other bakers? They didn't even have names. What? There's something going on there. Someone find out about that shit. Toucan Sam, a bougie, elitist bird. He only wants people to eat his cereal because he thinks it's better than everyone else's. He don't care. He takes you on a safari through jungles and the Temple of Doom, nose in the air, and the accent is fake. I think he's in witness relocation. Something going on with Toucan. He's flying through the thing, you follow your nose, something there. The honeybee, he's on speed. The speed freak, the speed demon. He's always talking fast, wings are aflutter. He tries to jive his way and con people into trying this basic ass cereal. This is the hardest selling of all the mascots. Like, oh, it's good for your heart. Oh, it's touch of honey. Man, shut up. It's basic ass cereal. At least Tony got the little sprinkle a little Coke on the frosted flakes. At least he sprinkle a little. But he needs to feed the habit. See, Honeybee, unusually strong. He picks up the box. He's a bee. He picks up the box and flies it to the table. Where did that strength come from? From that dust. Remember when Hulk Hogan had an intervention and tried to get the bee off the smack? You don't remember that commercial? Just me? All right, that's fine. Listen, I'm just having fun. Figured I was looking at the cereal. It was a commercial, and like Lucky it don't even look the same no more. Like all the mascots, they did stuff to them. So just thought about, what was going on back when I cared and I was eating cereal. But listen, maybe you gotta laugh out of it. I appreciate you guys listening. In the meantime, and between time, appreciate you.
How does that make you feel?
Ashamed, flabbergasted. It's like they're the smartest kids in the world.
Either that, or you're just the stupidest fucking leprechaun. Mr. Crunch, you're out of line. It's Captain!
Yeah, like you were ever really in the military. I need a hit.
Looks like somebody's off the wagon.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop, we've talked about ganging up on others. You need to find your individual voices.
What the hell are you guys, anyway?
Wendell, you look awfully bitter.
It's the taste you can see.
Is your boyfriend's bipolar disorder still causing problems in your relationship?
Fuck you! I'll rip your heart out and snuggle it. It could be worse. You could work for Raisin Bran.
You want 2 scoops of whoop ass? Ow! And Tony, how are the antidepressants working out? They're great!
Let's get this party started. Follow your nose. I want my money back.
And with your wrinkled pussy, I can't be your lover.